Could Europe implement protectionist policies and still conform to World Trade Organization rules?
Viviane de Beaufort at the European Centre for Law and Economics responds. The idea of Europe-wide economic protectionism is an economic aberration and a legal impossibility. But there is room for manoeuvre, to work some levers and try to restore conditions that would make competition fairer. Protectionism would be an economic aberration because the internal market, otherwise referred to as Europe, has developed over years because it is an open market. Europe needs to stay open because it is dependent on some crucial imports, not only its raw materials and its energy supply, but also investments. Now, when you look at exports, the big French companies, big European companies, and small and medium-sized German companies live by their exports. External markets are their livelihood. So closing the market is just suicide. Legally speaking, we are all partners, ever since the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, and then the World Trade Organization, which means respecting rules. However, the phenomenon of globalization, with the rise of emerging economies, the evident continuation of the dominance of the American dollar, and the competitive devaluation of China's currency, all put us in difficult competitive circumstances. So what can Europe do? We have some legal instruments, such as the principle of community preference, which we don't use often enough. That means when a product is equivalent to others, taking it from Germany or Poland, and not from China. There are legal tools we can work on which are acceptable to the World Trade Organization. Then there's the question of counterfeiting, the fight against faked goods, the question of fighting against subsidizing, because when companies in third countries are subsidized, they can dump their goods in our markets at below production cost here with no problem. And there's the question of opening up international public sector markets, and the question of laws on direct international investments. In a nutshell, there is room for maneuver. Protectionism, no, our companies must be made more competitive. How can we give them a boost? That's the number one question posed for industrial policy at the European level and not national level. It's about investing in research and development, about clustering, about intellectual property law. And it's about finally adopting a common European patent after 20 years of various efforts. Europe still has to work on that. If you'd like to ask a question, visit our website.